All right, can y'all hear me out there? Can you hear me? Hey, Ashley, can you hear me? Can y'all hear me? Hey, can you hear me? Can y'all hear me out there? Tell me if you can hear me. Okay. I just wanted to make sure y'all could. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. So, thank you for coming back to my channel, the Glitz and Glamz Chronicles. Tonight is Monday. I did start late. I am so sorry. Oh, good. Am I too loud? Am I too loud? Since y'all said y'all can hear me, am I too loud? I'm not too loud? Okay. So, tonight's episode, tonight's topic, we're going to talk about bullying in the schools. And I actually had a young lady, which I'm actually trying to see if I can get her in here, that requested for me to talk about bullying in the school system. So I'm trying to see if I can actually tag her to get to where I need to go, and I don't think it's going to allow me to do that. So I'm not going to worry about it. But thank you to everyone that is tuning in. This is your girl Niqua, and again, welcome to the Glitz and Glamz Chronicles. Tonight's topic we're going to talk about is bullying in the school system, and I do apologize for starting late, but in actuality, my setup for my phone was not working, so yes, I got to go do some investing this week. So I'm not going to take up too much of your time. I wanted to talk about bullying in the school system because I had a young lady that requested for me to actually talk about it within the group, and I told her that I would. Just to share a little light on bullying. Bullying is, in my opinion, where someone does not like another person because of reasons beyond measure. And just to share a little bit with my experience, I was with bullying. I was actually bullied in elementary school, and I'm just letting y'all know some of this information that is being told, if you are offended by it, I don't care. So I'm just letting you know, if it's meant for you to hear, then it's meant for you to hear, but I don't care whether or not you like what I'm getting ready to say. It is what it is. So when I started elementary school, I was actually bullied all through elementary school, all throughout middle school, and even up to when I became in high school. And actually high school is when I started retaliating, and I retaliated by the means of fighting. Not saying that that was actually the right way to go, because it really was not, but I did what I had to do in order to protect myself. I was bullied because I was different. I was bullied because I was a little girl weighing 125 pounds. I was tall. I was very intelligent. And the one thing that really got people started was my temper. I had a temper that was very crazy. I can't remember times where the kids would bully me so bad that I would get so upset, and I would start taking items and throwing them in the classroom at people. I was taking books and I was slamming them down on the tables because I was sick and tired of being bullied and then being called the crybaby. And then because of my name being different, I was called different things by the way that my name was sounded. It was a hot mess. I was bullied because I started puberty earlier, faster than everybody else. I was bullied mainly just because I was different. And it really took a long time for me to get myself together, which actually lowered my self-esteem. And it put me in a position where I put myself towards getting my education, but at the same time, in the back of my head, I also wanted friendship. And I can honestly say that that was like I would say elementary and middle school were the worst times of my life. By the time I got to high school and started fighting people every time they tried to bully me, it became a whole new ball game. But by the time I got to high school, it wasn't so much as me fighting for myself, but I was actually fighting for those who were being bullied as well. I remember my best friend who lives in Raleigh, North Carolina. I wish he was able to see this video. He was bullied all throughout school. He was 2 years younger than me. He was bullied all throughout school, but I was the one that always came to save him whenever somebody bullied him. And I hope that, even though we haven't spoken in a while, I hope that he has appreciated everything that I have ever, done for him to save him from getting to save him from being hurt by so many people. I have seen him where he was bullied by teachers. These are grown teachers, grown-ass teachers, sitting here bullying students, and it bothered me really, really bad that they was actually doing stuff like this to him. So I stood up and I decided to take defense and defended his honor, and that's exactly why we became best friends. And throughout high school, I was like his saving grace. Every time somebody tried to bully him, I was always trying to be there to save those from being bullied. The people who were geeks and nerds, I was the one that stood up for them because I knew what it felt like firsthand to be bullied. So I maintained a reputation for myself and decided to, we needed to do something about it. Fast forward to 2018, where now we are dealing with children in the school systems where you actually have kids who are still being bullied by other students, and it is manic now because now you have kids who are coming into the school system. The ones who are now being bullied are now the ones that are going in killing all these students who may or may not have been involved with the child being bullied on. And it's crazy because of the simple fact that it should not have gotten to this point. Bullying was done even when my parents was in school. It should not have gotten to the point now where we are scared to send our children to school. We are scared to allow them to go to school because we fear that we may not see them when they come home. We literally have to pray, people, and a lot of people don't pray like they used to. My husband and I, we pray for our children every single day, whether they know it or not. We pray for them to be able to go to school and for them to be able to come home. And because of that, I feel like God is always protecting our children. Not saying that he's not protecting everybody because we pray for everyone else's. But in our household, we do pray for our children. And a lot of people, and especially parents, need to start doing that today. Y'all need to start praying for your children and make sure that they come back home to you the same way they left your home going to school. Some kids don't even like talking about what it is that they learned in school because they are so bothered by what's going on. You got kids out here now that can't even approach their parents and talk to their parents about, well, this is what's happening to me in school. Why? Because they are so upset about what is going on in the school system that they can't even come to their parents and talk to them about the fact that they are being bullied. And it's sad. When you think about your kids of today, you realize that you have some kids that do come to school and become the bully. Why are they the bully? Because that's what their parents taught them to do. Because the children are being bullied in the home. See, a lot of people don't want to go there, but I'm going there tonight. A lot of parents are bullying their children in the home, and because that's what they see in the home, they think that is fine. So what they do is they take that to school and they actually do what it is that they are being taught at home. That doesn't work that doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me at all. My theory is this. As parents, we need to stand up and teach our children the importance of bullying. We need them to understand that bullying is not good for you. It is unhealthy. It is a very unhealthy ideal. My children, make sure that they are not bullying anybody. With my son having special needs, it is very, very hard for him to tell me, because he's autistic, because it is very hard for him to actually tell me exactly what is going on in the school system, whether or not he's being bullied. But I do remember the day that my son was bullied by another classmate, and they called me while I was at work. And the first thing that their teacher told me was my son got hurt because the little boy punched him in the stomach because of the fact that he dropped the pencil on the floor, and my son was picking it up. The little boy thought that pencil was his. Come to find out that it wasn't his, it was actually my son, and my son got hurt by that. I was so pissed off with that child, but then I had to think about it to myself, like, you know what, see, that's a kid. You cannot get mad at what the kid did. The only thing you can do is be mad at what the parents did not do. And I understand in the special education realm what that feels like. But at the same time, if you are a teacher in the classroom and you know that is going on, you know that one student is constantly heckling another student, why are you not stepping up to the plate to stop the madness? A lot of teachers don't care about these damn kids anymore, because the teachers that are graduating from college now are so worried about a paycheck and being out of school. The fact that you actually get that time off because you are a 10-month employee. And it doesn't work that way. It really doesn't. The teachers also need to step up. You got some faithful teachers out here, like the teachers from yesterday. These teachers from yesterday, very, very few of them allow bullying in their classroom. If anything, from what I remember, they stopped the bullying before it even gotten too far. The teachers of today, they don't give a damn about these kids, and I'm going to put it out there. Some of these teachers do not care about the students in their classroom. All they concerned about is, when am I going to get paid and when can I go home, because the students are getting on my nerves, I'm having a headache, and they just don't want to listen. And I understand that, because my husband is a teacher, my mother is a school counselor, my aunt is the director of special education in Farmville, Virginia. I understand all of that, because I hear the stories when they tell me about it when they come home from work. So I do understand that for a teacher, it is hard. It really is. But at the same time, you should not allow bullying to go on in the classroom. Let's go back to the parents. Some of the parents, they don't know any better. I know some of y'all are mad, and that's okay. You can be mad. I don't care. Some of the parents, they don't know any better because they wasn't taught any better. Or they were taught, but they didn't want to take heed to it. It's like, how can I put it? You got some parents who are heathens. I know I'm stepping on some of y'all toes. I don't give a damn. You got some parents who are heathens out here that actually force their children to be a bully because that's the way they were raised. And that's a crying shame. It is a shame that parents are actually doing that to their children. Oh, y'all laughing at me? Yeah, it's serious. It's a shame that parents are doing that to their children, because we as parents, we are the example of what our children are supposed to become when they become grown. And if we don't live by example, then our children are going to mock and do exactly what it is that they see. And that is not good, because not only are they going to do it in the school system, but they're also going to do it in the workplace. They're also going to do it in the church. They're also going to do it in their home. They're going to do it anywhere they are located. And that is not good, because you'll never be able to get anywhere. And it's sad. It really, really is. I have someone that's telling me that they had a problem earlier this year where the teacher told her daughter gets bullied a lot like it was no problem. And some kids just don't care these days. Yes, some kids don't care. And it's sad that they really don't care. But like I will go back to my teachers. You have the faithful few that actually care about the students in the classroom, that make sure that the kids are not being bullied. And those teachers, including my mother and my husband and my aunt, I would like to commend them for doing what it is that they do every single day. You do have teachers that put their lives on the line, because those are the teachers that actually care about their students. Those are the counselors that actually care what's going on in that student's life. I hear about it and I see it every single day. Let's talk about the school board. School board office ain't doing shit. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And I'm saying that for a reason and a purpose. The school board offices, some of the school board members, or some of the school board in general, when you as a parent go to your principal and you're talking to the principal and the teachers about, hey, this is exactly what's going on in the classroom, when nobody is doing anything, then you go to the superintendent. And when the superintendent does nothing, it kind of leaves you up in the air like, what am I supposed to do as a parent? Nobody is listening to me. When that happens, I'm not going to say I recommend, but I am going to say the best thing that I would do as a parent, go to those PTA meetings and talk to those people in those PTA meetings. That's what Parent-Teacher Association is for. It is there for us to be able to vent to the PTA members as a group of parents, for us to be able to make changes and demands in the school system, because the school system is not the school system like it was yesterday. It is constantly changing and it is constantly evolving, but at the same time, we still need a change. We still need a change, people. And if you cannot make that change with the school board, make that change starting with yourself. Teach your children at home how to learn how to love everyone. How not to hate anyone because of their color, because of their sexuality, because of their origin, because of their race, because of how they look, whether they fat, whether they skinny, whether they black, brown, blue, because they decided to want to wear a different hair color, because they decided they don't want to follow the trends of what's going on today in the school system, because they'd rather be smart than to not be uneducated, because of things like that. That's the reason why our children are being bullied today. And it's sad, because I see it every single day. And the one thing that I feel we really need to do is learn how to show love, learn how to be compassionate to our children. If we as parents show compassion to our children, I guarantee you that the bullying may cease in the home. And then it will cease in the school system. But then you also have children who have been through so much, especially my foster care system. And the only reason why I talk about it, because my brother and my sister, I do have brothers and sisters. My youngest brother and sister are adopted. They came from the foster care system, and I love them dearly. And I can remember times when they were bullied because they were different. And the craziest part that I remember was when we would play around and, we would crack jokes on one another. But when other children started bullying my brother and my sister, that was one thing that you don't do. You don't come after my brother and my sister. And you don't sit there and talk bad about them. I don't care what they may have done to you. And, my whole point was learn how to patch things up. Learn how to apologize. Learn how to be nice to one another. People, the kids, they don't even know how to be nice to one another. They don't even know how to be nice to their teacher. Now, let's reverse this, because I know I'm talking about teachers bullying the students, but let's talk about the students bullying the teachers, because it can go both ways. And I'm not going to exclude that either. Children, those who may be listening, I know that the children bully the teachers. I've actually had heard that a teacher was bullied by a group of students and they locked them up in the closet. What the hell? This is exactly why I'm not in the school systems anymore, because I used to work in the school system. I really couldn't do it. I literally would be behind the bars. So, and I don't feel I should ever have to go that far. But students, y'all need to learn how to respect your elders. Y'all need to learn how to respect your older people. You got some children that even bully their parents at home. And that is not a good feeling, because you have parents who are too busy trying to please their child instead of being the parent. I know. I basically just crushed that whole entire sentence. Let me say that again. You got parents who are not being a parent to their child because they're too busy trying to be a friend to their child, and it needs to stop. When you become a friend to your child, that gives them the opportunity to tell you what to do. In my form, that's bullying. I remember the one time that my son told me, "Mommy, you're not my friend no more." I told him, "Son, I wasn't your friend from the beginning. I created you. I brought you into this world. I'm supposed to feed you and clothe you and put a roof over your head. I wasn't asked to do anything else besides that. Everything else came with an option. Nothing was a necessity. Those three are the necessities. Other than that, everything else is a want. And if you want it, you got to earn it." After he figured that out, it was like, you know what? I think I'm going to have to show respect to my mom. You absolutely right. Because even though I brought you into this world, I can take your little tail out. So my thing to you, and I really don't know what time I'm actually working on. I got 5 minutes left on the clock. My thing to you all, sit down, talk to your children. Ask them how their day is going. If you pay attention to your child, you should know when your child is having their good days and when they're having their bad days. You should know your child like the back of your hand, where you know that a certain movement can actually tell you, hey, my child had a good day or my child didn't have a good day. I know when my child is having a good day because he tells me about it. Sometimes I don't even have to ask them. Both of my children do that. And I can tell when my children are not having a good day because they pull away from themselves and they don't want to be bothered. And they're absolutely right. I have a person right here that just said, nowadays parents are too into their own lives and not paying their children no mind. You absolutely right. Because the parents of today, and I hate to say it, my damn generation, want to sit here and be concerned about themselves instead of caring about their children, which actually leads them into bullying. For those that may not have caught what I was spelling, bullying. I'm just telling you like it is. And I'm being sincere from the heart. And again, my disclaimer, if anyone is offended by what I have said in the last 30 minutes, I'm sorry that you got offended, but I really don't care how you feel, because I'm just being honest. And I think everyone is entitled to their own opinion, and I'm actually entitled to my own as well. But just to let y'all know, I'm wrapping this up for y'all tonight. Just keep in mind, make sure as parents, aunts, uncles, grandparents, nieces, nephews, cousins, anybody, educators, teachers, counselors, social workers, all of y'all out there, make sure that you're listening to your children. Make sure that you are listening to what your kids are telling you. Sometimes your kids come home and give you information about what's going on in the school system. And, you know, people like that are not even listening to what their children is telling them. Your children are actually telling you what's going on in the school. But if you don't listen to your kids, you're going to be lost in the wind. The one thing I've always told my husband is that if we don't teach our children what it is that they need to know at home, they're going to learn it in the streets. And I'd be damned if I allow the streets to teach my children what it is that I'm trying to teach them at home. I'm going to leave y'all with that. Y'all be blessed. Tune in next week for the Glitz and Glamz Chronicles at 7:30 on Monday. Y'all be blessed. Keep y'all head up and let y'all children know. Tell your children that you love them. Tell your kids that you love them. Put your kids around your arm. Wrap your children around you, regardless of how old they are, whether they are 1 year old or whether they are 18 years old. Tell your children that you love them. Because a lot of parents out here don't do that anymore. Tell your children that you love them, because you never know. They are here tonight. God forbid, they will be gone tomorrow. Y'all be safe. I'm out. Talk to y'all later. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to the Glitz and Glamz. Thank y'all for the thumbs up. Please turn on your notifications for the next time I actually do come on. Next week, we're actually going to discuss, I'm actually going to post about it because it's in my head what I want to talk about, but I can't see it on paper. Absolutely. It does make a huge difference. Tell your children, don't forget, tell your children that you love them. Let your children talk to you when they have the chance to talk to you. Don't ever ignore your child when they are trying to talk to you. Listen to what your children have to say, because you never know. What your children may be telling you is something that is worth hearing. Y'all be blessed. I'm out.